Hey y'all, it's Trista. I have a fun project for you today. It's my very first time trying it, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I hope you like it. Don't be too judgy because, like I said, it's my very first time. I've seen a lot of thrift say that 10 times fast. Thrift flippers take like old ceramics or old jars or whatever and make them look like they're cement. And it's really pretty cool. So here's something that I did it with. Just a plain old yogurt jar. And I did try a little extra technique with a fun stamp set that I think you might enjoy as well. So, hope you like it.
Okay, so here's the technique we're going to do. We're going to take, I have a couple of these little small jars that I've saved from like a dessert thing. I guess a couple of these are not totally clean, but since we're painting over it, I think it's going to be okay. We are going to use a combination of chalk paint and baking soda. This is a brand new box. I just opened it a couple of minutes before I started the video. So this is something I've been wanting to try to make it look like cement. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake this just a little bit. And I just picked this up at Home Depot. It was in the point of purchase thing right by checkout. So I thought that this was kind of close to looking like cement, so here we go. Yay! I love that. Okay, okay, because I don't want the entire jar to be cement-like paint. I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. Again, this is the very first time I've done this, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Alright, so we're going to do that. And then it's supposed to be like half and half. So, I'll go ahead and, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm not sure if that's half or not. I don't know if this is going to be, I don't know that this is going to mix very well with this. I have messed up this paintbrush and it's really stiff, so I'm going to use this as my spoon to kind of mix it together. Move that out. Okay, and everything I have read said it's going to look like it's too much, but just keep going and it'll thin back out. So it's definitely kind of thick. Alright. Let's go ahead and try this. I'll wipe a little bit off of my brush here. I don't think that this is going to provide me the right brush strokes, so I'm going to just set that to the side and get one of my little jars here, and we're going to make a set of 3 of these. And I don't know if you can see it, but definitely has a bit of a paste-like quality to it because it's thick too, right? So, all right. Just gonna paint all the way around. I think I'll come back and maybe paint the bottom later. Just gonna go ahead and do all the edges and the top for now. And I don't plan on putting food in these, so I'm not super concerned about the paint getting on the edges. But if you wanted to use these for food, you would need to seal it later with some food-safe Mod Podge. I think I'm gonna do this brown jar that I have as well. This was, I don't even know what this was a jar for, but it's going to be another experiment. And you can use this technique with any kind of paint. It does not have to be chalk paint. Okay, you can see that this one's definitely going to need some extra coats because you can see the bottle through it. But that's okay. so let's go back and touch up some of these that we did. Alright, the other thing that I'm going to do before I let this dry is I'm just going to kind of stipple it just a little bit to kind of take away some of the brush marks and make it look a little more concrete like. Okay, so let's let these dry and we'll see how they turn out. Alright, so now that we have this done, I want to try putting a stamped image on top of the cement. So I think that would look really cool. I'm going to use these stamp sets from Chimp, which is adorable, and this little stamp block that I had picked up from Daiso that you would stick the it's a clear block, you know, so you put your stamps on there so you can see where you're laying them out. Although I don't think the curved surface is going to work the right way, so we're going to go ahead first and kind of distress up some of the edges, smooth out a little bit of the rough texture so that the stamp will apply a little bit better. And this is just a home decor sanding block that I had. And as you can see, it kind of pulls a little bit of the paint off, so don't get too aggressive with that. But I only did one coat of paint on these, so kind of not surprised either. Okay, so this is just Ranger Archival ink, and I am not going to use that stamp pad. I'm actually going to just use the rubber stamp and hope that it curves, acrylic stamp I guess, curves onto the surface of my jar. So I think these little wildflower set is just adorable, and I'll put the link to those in my YouTube comments in case you wanted to purchase those. They have all kinds of different ones that are pretty cool. So I'm just pushing this into the ink, and that was a brand new ink pad, by the way. And because, you know, they're not on that block, they just sort of curve to fit the surface. So didn't do a whole lot, but as you can see, the ink took to it really well, and these stamps worked beautifully. I'm super happy about that. So that kind of opens up a new world of possibilities. This is a small jar, so I can't do one of those really big designs, which I would love to, but I think I'll have to go back and maybe put it on the big jar later. But going to just try a couple of others here on the side and see how we like those to give it a little extra dimension. I think the black looks really cool. I don't know if you would, you know, you might want to tie like a black ribbon around the top. I really like that. Okay, so now we're going to try just to maybe age the edges a little bit. I guessed on the color of my paint to try and make it look like cement. I think there might be some colors that would be a little better, or I could layer it with another color maybe to make it a little darker. But I'm just going to try this Distress Oxide from Ranger Inks to see if I can add a little dimension to it and kind of make it look a little bit aged as well. So this is a new one I hadn't tried yet. Opened it up and it's a little juicy, to be honest. I was a little surprised at that. So gonna tread lightly with that, but I did like the color. I thought it would add a nice mottled sort of technique to it. I think if I went back and did this, I would mix my paint with maybe just a little bit darker color for the second coat, or maybe just dab it on to kind of give it a little extra dimension there. But I do like the way the Distressed Oxide added to it, and I'm just adding it a little bit to the tops and the edges as well. And so kind of distressing the ink image a little, since we're going for this aged look on this little jar. So all right, now I'm going to try another color. This is a color box one. I just happen to have these in my stash and they were unopened. Probably had them for years, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try a little bit different color on the cement to see if I like that better. So I'm actually doing the stamp upside down a little bit. So I told you this is the first time I was doing it, but I do love this stamp, and I loved how subtle the ink looked on this. And again, these stamps work beautifully. I can't recommend them enough. I'm looking forward to using those on maybe some other projects. I don't do a whole lot of paper crafts, but I do like multimedia type stuff, and these are going to work great. I love the wildflowers. So, and those were received complimentary to do a review with, and I do recommend them. So all opinions are my own. Okay, so you can kind of see it up close. I think it looks a little bit better once it dries and you're in the natural light. But again, just to pull the color through, and I did this on the other side of where I had started this, because this was just my practice piece. I was just kind of playing around to see what mediums would work the best on top of the paint with the baking soda. So I like it. I went ahead and kind of added a little shabby chic ribbon to it.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure and subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you know when I have a new video come out where I've tried something new and I give you the true facts about what I learned and what I liked and what I didn't. So thanks for watching.